My name's Regan. I work for Anthony J. Lyon, Detective Bureau. They call me the Lion's Eye.
Sunday at 8:30 and CBS brings you Jeff Regan, Investigator, starring Frank Graham as Regan with Frank Nelson as Anthony J. Lyon. So stand by for mystery and suspense and adventure in tonight's transcribed story, The British Are Coming.
The neckties were all labeled LG for Lord Granger. Only Granger wasn't a lord, and the Fallards tied us neatly into a case of champagne suppers, a Narcissus complex, and a man who wanted people around when he committed murder. I just finished a double-decked hamburger and 2 cups of coffee at a Beverly Boulevard drive-in, so I was feeling pretty good when I checked in with my boss, the Lion, at the Detective Bureau.
Jeffrey, my boy.
The Lion was holding up and admiring what I thought was a cow's tongue.
Beautiful, beautiful.
What is that?
Necktie, my boy. Lord Granger original. This necktie is number 3. See, it's marked. There's only one of its kind in the world.
Maybe because only one guy in the world would wear it.
I take it you're not familiar with Lord Granger.
You take wrong. The Lord Granger chain of English-type men's clothing stores...
haberdasher.
Clothing stores is owned and operated by Kirk Granger.
Kirk Granger, an extremely well-dressed man, but he's in great danger, Jeffrey.
Oh, so Granger's a new client, eh?
Yes. He gives out these original ties as calling cards. You see, his initial is woven in at the bottom.
What's Granger's trouble, Fatso?
Well, you see, he's going to kill a man, and...
He's gonna what?
Well, I'm sure that's what he said. And Mr. Granger wants someone present at the shooting as a witness to prove it was self-defense.
You accepted a case like that?
Well, this is a big case, Jeffrey. Here's his check for $500. Here, there's another $500 in it if you're present when the shooting takes place.
A witness to murder.
Of course, the only reason I accepted the case, Jeffrey, was in hopes you might prevent the shooting.
Well, who's gunning for Granger?
Some young man, but you'll have to get the details from Mr. Granger.
Don't worry, I will. I left the Lion tying a Windsor knot in his red and purple Lord Granger cravat. The Lion had already tied us into a case as phony as padded shoulders, but maybe he was right. If Kirk Granger was going to commit murder, maybe we could stop it. Headquarters for the Lord Granger chain of shops was in Beverly Hills, just off the main drag. Aloof and very British, with a roll of tweed and a brace of bagpipes in the front display window. Inside the shop, it smelled of fine woolens and leather. I asked a doddering clerk with crumpets on his breath where I might find the offices. He finally managed...
I say.
And pointed toward an elevator so conservative it was almost invisible. On the second floor, I asked an office girl wearing black watch plaid where I might find Kirk Granger.
Being fitted, don't you know?
I didn't, but he was. I found Kirk Granger in the fitting room. He was about 47, smartly gray at the temples with a swimming pool face and the large body of a softened athlete, surrounded by mirrors and a tailor with pins in his mouth.
Please stand firm, Mr. Granger, sir.
Haven't you finished with that cummerbund?
I'm attempting to stick it in, sir.
Well, stand behind me. I can't see myself in the mirror.
Yes, sir. Now that's got it.
Oh, you're Regan.
I answer to that, Granger.
Well, I've seen your picture in the tabloids. That's why I called on your agent.
That's what I want to talk to you about. Why you called our detective bureau.
You may leave us now, Fielding.
But we hadn't started fitting the trousers,
Later,
sir.
Fielding.
Yes, sir. Quite right, sir. As you say, sir.
You want to talk standing here in these mirrors?
Yes. You see, standing here in this one position, I can see both my sides, my front, and my back.
Well, it's as good a reason as any.
Would you stand to one side, please?
Oh, sure.
You were blocking the light. Now, to business.
That's what I had in mind.
You see, Mr. Regan, I'm going to kill a man.
Just like that?
Yes. And as I told the Lion... Oh, I say they call you the Lion's Eye, don't they? Very amusing.
Yeah, it gets laughs at parties.
Well, there's only one thing I need to make my killing complete.
That is?
A witness to testify that I shot in self-defense. You see, I have no desire to go to the gas chamber.
That's plausible.
Is there any particular evening you're free, Mr. Regan? I want to kill the men at your convenience.
Oh, decent of you.
Oh, not at all. It's just that I wouldn't want you to break off a date or anything like that.
Who is this lucky fellow you're going to kill? Have you told him about it, or is it going to be a surprise?
Of course I haven't told him.
Mm-hmm. Maybe he won't be able to keep your appointment.
Oh, he'll keep it all right. Any time I'm ready.
You mind my asking the prospective victim's name?
James Benson. He manages my shop on the Medical Mile.
Uh-huh. You won't mind if I have a chat with Benson?
Oh, of course not. But when he's dead, you're liable to feel a little sentimental about it.
Huh?
He's a very nice boy, a little high-strung, perhaps, and you're liable to become emotionally involved.
I'll risk it.
Then I'll call you when I'm ready for the kill.
One thing, Granger, you obviously have money.
Pots?
So you're killing Benson because of a woman?
Of course.
Her name is...
Lynn Richards. Look, Mr. Regan.
What is it?
When the light falls on my head at this angle, don't I remind you of Walter Pigeon?
Kirk Granger was lost in a well-tailored world all his own. I didn't want to break the spell or Granger, so I walked out toward the clear light of the street. Number one on my list of persons to see was Lynn Richards, the woman in the case. But before I made the front door, Fielding, the little tailor, grabbed at my sleeve with thumb and forefinger.
You're Mr. Regan of the Anthony J. Lyon Detective Bureau.
That is completely me.
We all know that Mr. Granger has hired you.
Oh, do you now?
Why? We have our suspicions that it is to protect the person of Mr. Granger, act as his bodyguard, as it were.
I'm sorry, but I can't discuss a client's business, Fielding.
Mr. Regan, listen, as a craftsman, a tailor, I know that Mr. Granger sometimes uses local tweeds and has British labels sewn in them. His character is of the very worst.
What's your point, Fielding?
If anyone does serious harm to Mr. Granger, would you note details so that we, the members of his staff, might recount them at our picnic the day of his funeral?
I couldn't promise anything, but I said I'd keep an open mind. Then I asked Fielding if he knew Lynn Richards. He did. Lynn Richards was an employee of Kirk Granger, stationed right on the premises. In fact, right upstairs. She was the girl I'd met wearing the black watch plaid. Back upstairs, I introduced myself to Lynn Richards, who in turn invited me out to tea. I accepted graciously, and we walked across the street to a small tea room.
Would you care for a biscuit, Mr. Regan?
I'm sorry, Miss Richards, but there's no time. I want to talk to you about Kirk Granger.
Yes, we all know why you're here.
Lord Granger has an informed staff.
Oh, I just like talking about my employer, Mr. Regan, but if I were to say he is something of a cad, I shouldn't be far from the point. Actually, he's been very nice to me.
But you've seen how he treats other people?
Yes.
Like maybe Jimmy Benson?
I suppose Mr. Granger hired you to watch me. Perhaps to keep Jimmy Benson away from me. Perhaps even frighten him away.
Do you hate Granger?
No, I don't hate him. I don't love him. Capable of no feeling whatsoever where Kirk Granger is concerned.
Jimmy loves you.
Yes.
And Kirk Granger doesn't like it.
As a matter of fact, Jimmy and I have been, sort of unofficially engaged to be married for quite some time.
But you can't make up your mind.
Oh, I want to marry Jimmy if only he could get over his stupid jealousy.
Well, sometimes jealousy's justified.
Oh, no. Jimmy shouldn't be jealous. He has no right to be. Anymore.
But he did at one time?
A year ago, before I'd met Jimmy, I had dinner a few times with Mr. Granger.
You don't see Granger after hours anymore, do you?
Oh, no.
Okay, Lynn. That's all I need.
Oh, where are you going now?
To talk to Jimmy Benson, before he makes his last appointment. I got Benson's home address from Lynn. I waited until he had a chance to get home from work, maybe 6 o'clock. Then I went to his place. It was a trim, boxy boarding house in the older stretch of Wilshire Boulevard. Front door was locked. I rang. The woman that opened the door looked like a landlady. She had a mop in her right hand, a jailer's ring of keys at her belt, while with her left hand she attempted to push her sliding hair straight on her head.
You want a room?
I'm looking for...
That's nice. We're famous for our home-cooked meals. Come in.
Is there
You look like the kind of people we like here. What's your name?
Jeff Regan.
That's real interesting. How much money do you make?
Odd amounts.
Now, let me see. Where shall I put
Look,
you?
lady.
Just call me Mother Cole. All my boarders do.
I'm looking for Jimmy Benson.
Oh? Is he in some kind of trouble?
Where's his room?
Head of the stairs, first door to the left.
Is he in?
He checked in at 5:43. He was walking more rapidly than usual. Took the stairs 2 at a time.
Thanks, Mother.
Let me know what happens.
I knocked on Benson's door. He answered. Jimmy Benson was tall, dark. Below his straight black hair was a handsome face, still soft with youth. Now it was strained and intense.
What do you want?
Talk with you.
I don't know you.
Would you mind if I come in? My name's Regan, private investigator.
Private investigator?
Nice room you got here.
What do you want with me?
You're a good friend of Kirk Granger's.
No.
Why not?
He's cheap, low, dirty, no good.
You're jealous because he's been seeing a girl, Lynn Richards.
What do you know about that?
Well, I know that Lynn Richards isn't seeing Granger anymore, after hours. I know that Granger thinks you're going to make a fool of yourself and go gunning for him one of these days.
Yes, I've had that in mind for a long time. You gotta kill his kind to make them leave their dirty paws off your girl.
That's what he's hoping you'll do, Benson. Come gunning for him. He'll be waiting for you.
I told him to his face I'd kill him if he didn't leave Lynn alone.
That's no good.
Why won't he leave her alone?
Look, Benson, you've got to promise me you won't go gunning for Kirk Granger.
I don't know what to do.
Just believe Lynn Richards and keep your head.
What right have you got telling me what to do? What do you know about it?
Benson, it's your life.
Okay, it's my life. Maybe you're right, Regan. I'll call Lynn.
Just before I closed Jimmy Benson's door on the way out, I heard him make a dinner date with Lynn Richards for that night. So it looked like everything was going to be fine. But that was before I received a phone call a few hours later, at 9 o'clock. On the other end of the line was Kirk Granger.
All right, Regan, tonight's the night.
The night for what?
I want you to come to my house immediately, Regan.
Don't worry, you're safe.
You have my home address. I'll expect to see you within 20 minutes.
Okay, Granger, you paid for it. I'll be right out.
Hurry. I want you to get here before Jimmy Benson.
You think you'll be there tonight?
I'm almost positive.
Well, you can relax, Granger. Benson won't show. But I will. 15 minutes. Kirk Granger's house was a replica of an English country house, complete to walls hidden in ivy. Ivy that now showed black in the moonlight. There was no doorbell, just a bronze coat of arms that served as a door knocker. I knocked. Nothing. I tried the doorknob. The house was locked tight. Everything was dark. And then I noticed a light reflected on the leaves of a tree toward the side of the house. I walked back along the path toward the light. There was an open door leading to a garden. I stepped into the light of the doorway and felt a gun in my ribs.
Oh, it's you, Regan.
Put the gun away, Granger.
Yes, sir. But you won't mind if I keep it handy?
That's your business.
When I heard the noise on the path, I thought it might be...
Jimmy Benson.
Yes.
You didn't want to shoot because there'd be no witness.
That's right. I was merely going to keep Benson alive until you arrive. Give him a chance to go for his weapon, then kill him.
Why don't you forget all this, Granger? Forget Benson.
That's not the way I play, Regan.
Why do you expect Benson out here tonight?
Oh, intuition?
Tell you what, my intuition says he won't be here.
We'll see.
Large room. Windows locked.
Yes, I've locked the entire house, with the exception of that door to the garden. We have to have air.
Well, it helps. This must be your study.
Yes, you're observant.
Mm-hmm. Hey, you like mirrors.
Vanity. I have them on every door, Regan. Oh, how do you like the drape of this smoking jacket?
Very smart.
If you don't mind, I'll just sit at this desk.
Anything you like. It's going to be a long night.
Fine. I'll just lay my revolver here on the desk in front of me.
You won't need it, Granger.
We'll see.
All right. We'll both wait and see. Granger sat at his desk, his back against the wall. The desk lamp lighting his harsh features, and we waited, both of us, watching the door that opened to the garden. One thing was sure, Benson wouldn't show, wouldn't be fool enough to.